So that's absolutely exciting to see you all here. And Mara, you and I are doing this this crash course on digital facilitation because actually we wanted to hang out together now and we cannot. So this is what happened. Mara and I are friends and we go way back, and we've been together to a number of leadership programs, but we also just simply like one another. And this weekend we wanted to spend together in the beautiful Ardennes in the south of Belgium. But then the reality in the world changed abruptly, and we had a short call where we said, okay, so we cannot meet. Damn it, we don't like it. And then I have no idea how that happened. And that we said, okay, I think Mara, what was it? You asked me if I could teach you how to do meetings.
Yeah, you have a lot of experience running meetings and complex meetings on Zoom. And I was like, I want to learn that from you. And then you said something.
Yeah, and I said, okay, Mara, I can teach you, but only if you teach me digital scribing, because I do graphic recording, but analog, and I was like, all right, so let's just make it an exchange. And then instantly we were like, okay, so if we're doing that, let's expand it beyond Mara's team, beyond our team, let's invite other people, because, it is our leadership impulse, right? We see what's happening in the world, the changes that are already there now, have sent an unprecedented amount of people into home office. And the meetings we're having now, we have to have them online. And many of our friends and colleagues work in the meeting business, both as facilitators and as scribes. And we wanted to support people whose livelihood would potentially be endangered and allow them to stay in business. And we also thought to ourselves, let's do that lemonade. And we decided this is a really good opportunity to also say, what, actually every meeting should have also the visual components, and also like every meeting with visual components should have someone who knows how to facilitate the flow, so that people are in a good energy and are, both entertained and have a positive experience and also get things done. So this is why we're offering that.
Yes.
You want to tell about our little collaboration?
So yeah, we just decided we were going to create those modules and hope to share our insights with anyone who feels, the need of it. So yeah, let's hope it will continue.
So it's the first time that, now it's actually the second time that Visuality and the Leadership Festival are collaborating. The first time is the one that we're seeing the picture from, which was last September in Berlin, where you and I hosted a group of 100 live in a film studio for a number of days.
So this is slightly different.
This is slightly different, but as you can see from the doorbell, people just keep coming and coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? Before we introduce to you what we want to share in this meeting, we would just quickly like to hear everybody's voices. And Mara, if you could stop sharing your screen, and we could then see everybody's faces. And if I could ask us all to share we are 39 people currently. If you could just share your name and the place you're calling from. And here in the chat, you can find a speaking order. So let's go by this order. And if we notice that somebody is not here, we just, we go to the next person. So do we have Cyril? Yay. Okay. So your name and the place you're calling from, and hello. If you would need to unmute yourself, it's in the bottom on the left.
Okay, I'm Cyril François from Toulouse. And that's all.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, the next person.
Hi, I'm Guy, actually from Belgium, south of Ghent. So, nice seeing you.
Wonderful. Anita, it's your turn.
Hello, I'm Anita. I'm Italian, but I'm living in the Netherlands at the moment. So hello everyone from Amsterdam.
Hello there. Okay, do we have Olga with us? There are 3 screens of people. Okay, Sana, I saw you.
Yeah, Sana from Berlin. Hi.
Wonderful.
Solène from Mulhouse, France.
Great to have you here.
I'm Tine from Ghent in Belgium.
Hi, I'm Rauske from the Netherlands.
Wonderful. Flora?
Yeah, that was me. From Berlin.
Okay, Deborah? Okay. Caroline?
Hi, I'm Carolyn from Toronto, Canada.
Wonderful. You don't have to wait for me to call your name. If it's your turn, you can just go. So,
Well, maybe the next one is me. It's Martine from Belgium, Antwerp.
hi.
Hi.
I'm Jana from Berlin.
Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Louisa from Berlin.
Hey everyone, my name is Abdul and I'm sitting in Aarhus, Denmark.
Hi.
Do we have Mette?
Hi, Mette from Copenhagen, Denmark.
And I'm Mona from the northern part of Denmark.
Wonderful.
I'm Hannah and I'm calling in from Palermo, Sicily.
Hi. You hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Petra from Berlin.
Wonderful. Do we have Julie? Yeah.
Hi, yeah, I'm Judy and I'm calling from Brussels.
Wonderful. Nicoletta? Jonas?
I'm the next. Hi, I'm Jonas from Essen in Germany.
Wonderful. Hubert, I saw you.
I'm Hubert from Holland. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Stephanie and I'm in Switzerland.
Hi, I'm Gabriela. I am in Brussels.
Hi, I'm Mustafa and I'm coming from Krakow, North Macedonia.
Cohen? Is Cohen here?
Yes. Hi, it's Koen from Antwerp, Belgium.
Wonderful. Marike? Then I can see Monica already.
Hi, Monica, Warsaw, Poland.
Hi there. Kasia?
Yeah, Kasia, I'm also coming from Poland, but speaking from Vienna, Austria.
Wonderful. I'm sorry, I'm just noticing for everybody who doesn't see their name that there were a couple of people who registered a little bit later, and there we go. So Petra, we heard you. Martin? Then Ruben.
Hi everyone, I'm Ruben calling from Brussels, Belgium.
Dominique. Cyprian.
Hi, this is Barbara from Spain.
Oh, sorry, thank you. Hi, Barbara.
No problem.
Well done.
Okay.
Okay, it's Cyprian from Leuven, Belgium.
And you audition to that city, yeah?
You are from Poland, Cyprian.
Don't forget. Okay.
Okay, we also have Maria. Do you want to say hi?
Hi, everybody. I'm from originally from Spain, calling from Mechelen, Belgium.
Wonderful. Then Sven, I have seen you as well. Yeah, if you can unmute yourself, you green screen. Do you know how to unmute yourself? It's in the bottom on the left.
Normally it works with the space, not here. Sven from Belgium.
Hi there. Is there anybody whom we haven't put on the list? The list was changing very dynamically, so I'm very sorry if we have missed anybody. Is there Ella? We haven't heard you.
Hi, I'm Ella from Poland in Leuven, Belgium. It's a strong front.
Yes. Anybody else?
Hi, I'm Clara. I'm now in Prague, Czech Republic.
Wonderful. So, Stephanie, do you want to say hi?
Yes, unfortunately my camera isn't working, so I can only hear you. You can't see me. But yes, definitely from Berlin, Germany.
All right. Wonderful. If I could ask all of you who are not speaking to always mute yourselves, like that we avoid the background noises. And also if you want to, you probably already discovered that you can, in the right upper corner, you can either go to speaker view, or you can go to like see a grid with all people. So whichever works best for you. So welcome to this, the first meeting of our facilitation session. And today what our flow for this session is, we're in the welcome. We did the first round of check-in. We're gonna engage in a little bit more of an in-depth check-in in a second. And then we wanna share with you about what it needs to make a meeting where everybody feels like they know why they're there and what's gonna be happening and how to participate in it. So it's, like things around participation and invitation, what to do during a meeting and what to do after the meeting. Then, with these tech things, I always myself, so I've been working with Zoom for, I would say now 7 years, but I don't know if Zoom exists that long, but basically since it exists, before that it was like Cisco and WebEx. I work a lot globally with global teams, and I love geeking out about that. So I would like to share with you also what are the options, how you can work with Zoom, what are the plans that are for free and the plans that are paid. And that's my small joke in the email, we're not Zoom representatives, but sometimes it's helpful if someone tells you how what to subscribe to and what to use for free. We would like to tell you also a little bit about the breakout spaces, and we will have a homework for you, and then we will share with you what's going to happen in the next meeting, and we will have a checkout. What is our intention is that after this call, each one of you to be able to hold a really decent video call. Yeah, so that's our intention. We hope to achieve it by the end of this 90 minutes. And the sequence often how we will do is we will first experience things with you, then we will share with you what we are doing, and at the end we will sum up again and just walk through everything that we have done. So now, as the majority of you are joining us for either the whole track of facilitation or for the whole crash course, we, like Mara and I prepared this course based on this, what our teams would need, but we also, it is absolutely, primary for us to support you in your work and to be very hands-on, right? So we would like to hear what is it that you actually know already and what is it that you need. And in a second, I will send you into breakout spaces for the first time in this meeting. Breakout spaces means small meetings of around 4 people. And you're gonna have 12 minutes in these groups. And I would like you to choose one person who's gonna be the so-called harvester. So it's the person who's gonna be listening and collecting the core messages of the group. And I would ask this person to also take notes on that. And in this group, I will ask you to introduce yourself with your name, place, and what you do. And also, how much experience with online meetings do you bring? How much experience do you have? And what do you need from this course? And in which setting will you be implementing this knowledge, right? So we can, relate to it in this meeting and in the meetings to come. I will send you the questions once again when you're in your room, breakout room, so don't worry, you don't have to remember them. They will be highlighted at the top of the screen. So I'm gonna send you to your breakout rooms. You're gonna have 12 minutes, 1 minute before the breakout finishes, you're gonna see also a sign saying 60 seconds to come back. You don't have to press anything, it's gonna take you automatically. And yeah, enjoy yourselves. And I'm very excited for the meetings of the transdisciplinary and intergeographical that people will have.
clock running down.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I just saw that you requested help. You think I can do?
Yes, so we couldn't find the questions.
Okay.
And yeah, we're wondering if you could say them again or yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Let me just copy them for you in your chat here. They were appearing at the beginning of the meeting at the top.
Yeah.
But then, you know, like
they were gone.
Weird. Yeah?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. Thank you.
A second question.
Yeah.
Since in testing options, is there somewhere where we can see the timing? You said 12 minutes and we're wondering if it will kick us out.
I will, 60 seconds before the group is over, you will see in the middle of the screen an information, and then it will automatically take you back. You won't have a chance to be lost.
Thanks.
Thank you for calling me in. Well done. So, we have 16 participants. There we go. Now the timing is over. I was like, maybe we just lost 25 people on the way. That happens. You never know when people go like, what? Nah, I'm out. Okay, so welcome back to the big group. We are really a big group, to be honest. Both Mara and I are slightly surprised. We were thinking we're gonna be sitting with a group of 10 people. So, you know, like it is overwhelming and we're doing the best we can. And, you know, like this is what we all are doing in these times. So, you know, like maybe this is just a call to all of us, a call to kindness and forgiveness and forgiving one another and forgiving yourself first of all. We're gonna be going beyond our limits on a number of occasions these times, and sometimes it's gonna work out, sometimes it's gonna be a situation where you wish it worked out better. We also hear from Zoom that, you know, like they were advertising so much that people can use this program to do home office, and now it's crashing. Like none of the internet infrastructure or softwares were built for so many people to do home office. So, you know, like be kind to the tech people as well, and don't complain about LinkedIn crashing, Zoom crashing. It's going to be happening these days, and we're all just going to be figuring it out together. But first and foremost, be kind and gentle to yourself. Thank you all for the questions in the chat. Yes, we're going to share the recording together with the notes that Mara is doing, and we're going to be collecting all your harvesting, and you're going to get the recording and the notes tomorrow from us. So welcome back from the breakout spaces for the first time. I would like to ask all of the harvesters from the group if you could now share your notes in the chat, and if we could go one group by the other. We had 9 or 10 groups, so if you can really take like 60 to 90 seconds just to give us the essence of what you found out that people are searching for in this course, and if there is something that you would notice you would be repeating what others said, then just just skip that and let's get to collectively collecting the essence. So in first step, share your harvest in the notes, and then whoever wants to go first just goes first.
Okay, I can begin. Our groups, we were, one was experimented with online meetings, but the 3 other not really. So we are here for learning about tips and tricks on Zoom and how to facilitate it, and some technical stuff to draw in the same time online, like really combining facilitating and visualization online. One wants to be a facilitator, become a facilitator without to help her team to do remote. So yeah, I think it's quite finished. I will let time to other people.
Thank you so much. And if you have notes in a digital way, if you could paste them to the chat window, that will help Mara to record that and to include it in the harvesting. So.
Okay. So we had Sven here from Belgium. We had Clara, Monica, myself, Sven, and Mustafa. The things we wanted to learn in this track is how to keep people active and not distracted online when you have a meeting. There's the whole need for learning how the technical part works for it, or works. Somebody, or Mustafa, wanted to work also a bit on how to do this visually. And then lastly, upskill online facilitation skills with bigger groups. That was the summary of our needs or desires for the next times.
Wonderful, thank you, Sven.
I can go next.
Okay.
Oh, no. Okay. Our group was Barbara, Louise, and Cyril. And everyone is basically just having basic knowledge on Zoom, and would like to discover how to move from offline to online in this crazy world that we are having right now. And like, for example, some of us have no experience with Zoom, and those who have, like Louisa, she would like to incorporate more creative and interactive styles into how to communicate and teach online. So, for example, if it's possible to incorporate other visual tools, yeah, and we were on, and I'm going to copy paste what I wrote in a second.
Wonderful, thank you, Flora.
Yeah, so here is Gabriela. But I actually cannot find the hand up right now on the screen anywhere. But if I can continue, you don't mind. We didn't agree in our group who is going to talk. But we were me, Gabriela, Mette, Olga, and Maria, and we were somehow saying that we need to do this online work to keep our projects, to keep our deadlines, to keep up, in my case, with the policy development here in Brussels, to kind of be able to coordinate people and to have the input. So it's either like to facilitate and to kind of keep the work, or to kind of bring the kind of get people together to kind of do the kind of input work or policy work. We have some experiences. Olga, she said that she was already combining the online and offline and having some templates that she was using. And we in Ergo, we purchased Zoom this week, so we run already several meetings, and so this is coming actually very, very handy. But what we were also stating that to kind of use it now, but somehow thinking of how we can use it also after to kind of bring a bit sustainability in our work, and to kind of think wisely of what meetings actually have to be done in person and which can kind of stay online, to kind of hoping that we can actually learn from the situation and not just jump into this craziness which was before, that traveling here and there for even a few hours, some people, you know, all over the world. So yeah, so this was a
Absolutely. We also have this fantasy and that the amount of traveling people will be doing as like completely obvious that I'm doing this travel might get adopted because of the situation we're in. So yeah, we're with you on that.
Hi, it's Carolyn from Canada, and we had Mona, Mara, and Cyprian in my breakout group. We had quite a range of experience in our group. Some of us have had some experience already facilitating virtually, but want to know like what are some of the tips and tricks, and others have not yet and see the need to do that to be able to continue their work. We all have had experience being in a lot of Zoom meetings, some of which were great and many of which were really boring and deadly dull. So we want to understand, how do you manage and set up a facilitation virtually so that it's engaging, that it's alive, that when you send people to breakout rooms, that they're not coming back and bombarding the whole with like the quick little report backs, which can be difficult for people to really absorb and digest. So really, we wanted to, from this program, to get the confidence to be able to lead virtual facilitations in a way that is engaging for people. A question that we talked about a fair bit was, like, you know, when you go to a virtual environment as opposed to in person, you're losing some of those cues that you can get when you're seeing people and when they're out from their breakout rooms, like what's really happening. So how do we restructure, rethink that, those self-monitoring mechanisms? How do we design for that so that we can ensure that people actually are engaged and that they're not getting, you know, totally distracted onto something else on their computer? So I think, so yeah, learning like what's the workflow and how do we integrate the visuals into it, because some of us do have visual facilitation, graphic recording background, and how do we knit that in with the visual facilitation online? I'll put my notes in the chat.
Okay, so I would go next. This is Sana from Berlin. I was in a group with Guy from Belgium and Julie, who is also in Belgium right now. And actually, there is already said everything. My previous speaker said basically everything we also discussed on. I can maybe add that none of us did already really facilitate virtual meetings, but was in virtual meetings, so but more static and not that interactive. And one key thing was also the question, how can we create the energy that we experience when we meet in person? Yeah, can we create that energy? Yeah, I also put my notes in the chat.
Then I go next. Well, like a lot of the issues have been like said before. Like, how do we keep people motivated during digital meetings? How can we have an interaction between people? Like something also. How do you do something like the breakout room? How can we cooperate? And also, what can we offer at all? Like, what's possible in the medium, and also how to explain it to clients. Yeah, so that were like the basic, the most, sorry, I was just getting a call. The information we gathered, yeah.
Thank you, Jana.
So my group is still missing, and we had the question, what can we translate to digital, because we were in our field doing live work mostly, and had the question now, what can we translate, but what are also the chances of the crisis? So not to see it only as an emergency situation, but to see how can we add maybe more diversity even by going digital. So that was one question. So we discussed in which part of our current work we can include digital meetings. So which parts can be translated, and which maybe can't. And yeah, and we had the need for some kind of a roadmap when we are like first timers doing digital meetups, having like a list of what to have in mind when we work together with people with even less experience in that field. So what to give them as a for check-in and check-out maybe. Yeah, I think this is our part. Oh, and include the notes later on.
Thank you, Jonas. Are there all the groups? Stephanie.
There we go. So I already added the notes. There isn't really anything much to add on top of everyone else's list. And none of us have any experience facilitating digitally. And it's a way to keep things alive for how long we need to do this. And the three of us also mentioned continuing the digital part as part of some of our processes when things go kind of back to normal, whatever that looks like as well. So, thanks.
That's absolutely wonderful. Do we have everybody? All right, thank you so much for your sharing. And so we, like this meeting is the basic meeting. So I would like to focus in this meeting on really, like providing you with everything that you might need just to start a meeting and invite others. And during that meeting, have all the functionalities that Zoom offers you. Also, Mara and I decided for Zoom because this is the software we're using most often. Next time, we're happy to share with you other software if there is the need as well, because there's a couple of alternatives. It might be that Zoom is going to get overcrowded. This is when the alternatives come in handy. So this time I would like to focus really like on the technical parts and some features that, even though I've worked with Zoom from the beginning for a long time, they were hidden to me and I didn't know that they existed, and they're helpful. And next time listening to you now, I really would like to commit the whole meeting to managing energy and managing engagement in a meeting, and basically like creating a positive experience. As for the question, where is the raise hand button? If you click on participants, and this is something new. It used to be only raise hand and something else. Now there's like 5, 6, 7 icons, so you can, like you can inform the speaker to go faster or go slower. And this is also one aspect of like managing energy, right? If you're feeling like, like, yeah, we know all of that. You can, like you can tell them to go faster, or Gabriela, like you can do that. You can be happy. I am happy with a different skin tone, because if you go to your Zoom profile, you can choose also skin tones, which is a really you know, like a really nice addition in terms of like diversity and inclusivity as well that Zoom added recently. So yeah. And so now I would exactly like to, you know, like take you through this roadmap, right? Like if this is my, you know, like if I'm sitting here and I am to host a meeting, you know, so I have to invite people and then like manage all of that when people join us. Where do I find everything and how does it work? So there are 3 phases, or like, you know, like maybe 4 in a way. Like, so there is like the preparation, the invitation, and the in meeting and the after meeting. So for the preparation, I would like to share my screen with you just briefly. And this is where you, it's again like a request for, you know, like for kindness, because as you can see, I opened, you know, like a browser where there are only 4 tabs. If I hadn't prepared it, you would see that I have normally like 120 tabs open, and maybe you would see tabs I wouldn't want you to see because they're private, right? So this is, you know, like one very practical thing. If you're going to be sharing anything with participants during the meeting, Zoom allows you to choose which program and which window in this program you're sharing, but just make sure what are the other things that people can see. So in my preparation process, what I often do is I have a flow of the session, and this, like in green, I highlight the things that are interactive, where, you know, I know that I'm going to be sending you to do something. And in red, in this case, we have notes for Mara, where Mara is visualizing and either sharing with you or visualizing in the background and sharing a report. Then on the right-hand side, I have the questions so that I don't need to, you know, like search anywhere and be like very precise about if I'm taking one word too much or one too little. I'm just, you know, like copying from here and then pasting it into the chat. And what I have is also a list of participants that's prepared. With, you know, like with 38 participants, it's a little bit tricky because you cannot verify it so fast. So yeah, but normally, you know, like I would say the number of participants was growing today very rapidly. So some decisions I haven't made, I would say like above 30 participants, I wouldn't really, you know, like maybe be opening mic to everybody. So this is the schedule where where I would always prepare to myself like a schedule I want to share with the group at the beginning and the chat, additionally to sharing it with people verbally, and also questions, because, you know, like working in an online meeting, there are like many like added things. We have heard babies in the background with some people. There are, you know, like there are animals in the background. There are other humans, the tech fails and so on. Like there are many things that demand something from our energy and attention. So if you can repeat the questions you asked verbally in the chat, it's helpful for people, even more than in a regular meeting. And even in regular meetings, we experience it that if you write a question down, it's easier for people to focus on it. Now, you saw my list for speaking order, and there's a couple of things you could do with speaking order. One is you just have a list, you paste it in the chat, and people manage that. Another thing you could do is that the last person who was speaking nominates the next one. So I would, for example, say, Ella, you go next, and then Ella, you share, and you say, you know, like Ruben is the one who's going next. There are also, you know, like there are some communities like around the art of hosting community that have something like a talking piece. So everybody would bring something with them, and they would put the talking, you know, like the virtual talking piece back, and then someone else would pick it up. And that's very context sensitive. So you want to be careful when you use it, when you don't use it. Some people are put off by it. But if the context is right, it sometimes is just really, you know, like an entertaining aspect. Additionally, you know, like what talking pieces do people have and what talking pieces do people use? What you want also is some visuals you want to share, so that's always very helpful. And then also what Mara, you brought in recently, is this aspect of what you experienced today, which is like the entry situation, like with a visual and maybe some music in the background and something like that, so you have the feeling like you're really entering a new room and there is something in that room, there is some kind of feeling. Okay. Are we good so far? If we're good, you can just, yeah? All right. Okay, good to see. Thank you so much. I'm going fast because these things are technical and I don't want to bore you too much with them. If I'm going too fast, you just, yeah, I can go even faster. Thank you. Okay, so now there's a person who showed me, like, I'm like, my face is hot, Okay, so I would like to go to scheduling a meeting and the options there. So if you haven't been working with Zoom that much, let me share my screen with you. There we go. So you're going to starting a meeting. That's my profile you're looking at. I'm signed in with my plan as well. So that means certain, like technical things are open for me that will not be for the basic plan. So you add the topic of the meeting, and that is important because this is something that, like people will see when they're entering the meeting. Right, so they will see it when they're entering the meeting. They will also see, depending on how you do the invitation, they might see it in the invitation and text as well. So you choose the date, you choose the location, blah, blah, blah. Like some of these things are uninteresting and they're set on default and it's okay. The thing I do find interesting is this aspect here, which is enable join before host. So you can tick it or you can untick it. And what we in our Leadership Festival Collective often have is we're using my account and I don't always make it to the meetings, or, like I'm not participating in a certain meeting. So if you click this enable join before host, then you can use one profile also for more people using that meeting. And if anything happens to your tech on the way, people can join the meeting even if you aren't there. With meetings with many participants, what is helpful is to mute everybody upon entry. Having said that, this feature sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. What we're seeing now is some of our participants from the community are from the clubbing scene. The clubbing scene is having like very big problems currently because obviously people don't go clubbing. So there's very many of these like online festivals now and this like stay at home festival and things like that. For these things, muting participants upon entry is really important. Also, when you have the speaker view, then whoever is not muted will land in the speaker view and will land in this what is recorded. So you want everybody who is not speaking to be muted. There is another really helpful feature if you want to use your Zoom, especially in like settings that are more formal, organizations that might be a little bit more conservative. You might want to use an option that's called a waiting room. Waiting room means that you manually allow people to get into the meeting, right? So it allows you to invite, like 13 people, for example, and to have a preparatory meeting with the manager. And then, like it might be top of the hour and the other participants are joining, but you aren't done yet. So you have control over this, who's gonna enter the room and who's not gonna enter it, right? People are not just gonna, surprise you. Yeah, so that's for that. Let me see. Oh yeah, then there is also the option to record a meeting automatically, but then you need to remember the aspect of consent. There's the question about the doorbell. So actually the doorbell is something that the host of the meeting switches on in their settings. You can switch it on either for only the host or for everybody, or switch it off. When I find it helpful is here the majority of people join over a computer, but again, speaking to, you know, like both diversity and many people working from the countryside, where internet isn't so strong, you can join Zoom also by telephone, right? And when you're on the phone, you cannot see if someone joined the meeting or left it. And this is when the doorbell seems like a act of kindness, right? Because you hear like, okay, you know, like someone else is in the room. It's not anymore just the two of us, you know, having this private conversation, but someone else joined as well. Okay, all the visual questions I leave to Mara. How did I play the music? I just played it from my iTunes and didn't mute my my mic. Okay, so now when okay, there are different types of invitations. So when you, let me take you to my Zoom for a second more. There was one thing I wanted to share with you, because that's also interesting in terms of like really, you know, like making it look professional. So I saved this meeting, and then when I saved it, it shows me I can add it to like various types of calendars. I can just copy the link, and this is what I will do to the majority of groups I work frequently with, and I just add it to our calendar that we share. I don't send anything else, but you can also, hold on, I can see here, copy the invitation, right? And then you have all of this text, and you can just, you know, like copy paste, and it has like all the telephone numbers to call in. It's very like US centric in this case. But you know, like you have all the options and the time and the title and da-da-da. What I did for our meeting is I took some of it and some of it I left out, right? So you can copy this, or you can like copy and customize it and add it to your email. Okay. It's always also good to tell to newbies how to join Zoom, right? And to maybe be there 10 minutes before. You can test your audio. If you go, I want to show you a couple of things that are in the bottom menu. So if you look at the bottom line, the menu, you can test your audio before you join. And then, you know, like you can use both the built-in audio, or you can connect via video with a computer and with a phone with audio. So there's like super many possibilities. What is a frequent problem is that people who connect with a mobile device, so either with a tablet or a telephone, either don't hear or cannot speak, they need a headset. Yeah, so always say if people are going to be connecting with a mobile device, they need a headset. Otherwise, they're neither going to hear nor they're going to be heard. Now, okay, video is cool. I would like us all to go to our video settings. So when you see the little camera with video, you tap on this little arrow and you open video settings. And when it opens, you probably see that it, you know, raise your left hand, a little bit like swearing. And now you can have this enable mirror. Let us switch it on and off. Can you see that? You cannot see it, so, but can you see mine, how it's changing? If you look at my video, can you see it? Hold on, I need to switch it off. Yeah, can you see my hand now? And can you see my hand now?
It's always the same.
It's only for you. You see it switching on your screen.
Only I see it switching because.
Yeah.
Thank you, Guy. That's helpful. Well, the mirror effect, then it's anyway helpful, because when you're showing something in tutorials and you want to show, you know, like go there, go here, yeah, you can drop your hand, or unless, Gabriela, you have a question. No, okay. Yeah, so I wanted to wave our hands a little bit because it's fun. Okay. Then another thing that is, you know, like helpful is to make sure that you are happy with how you look. So have a look at this, what you're wearing, you know, like it's spring, so it's okay. But when it gets summer, you know, like we have all different types of clothes that sometimes you don't see that a person is wearing something, you know, or it has a décolleté or things like that. So just, I seriously open a program and take a selfie with my computer before I enter a conference call and see if it looks good. Like if the background looks okay, if it's not too cluttered. So what I would like to, you know, so it's like the background, it is the background, it's the light, it's what you wear, it's what your hair is doing, and it is the makeup. So I would like to do something now, and that is, I would like to give, I'm just taking selfies or like screenshots of all of you, and I would switch on a timer for all of us for 30 seconds, and I will ask us all to switch off our videos and to change something about our appearance to look more interesting for others, okay? So I'm going to screen share. In the meantime, please switch off your video. And when we come back, look different. Okay, go. And we're back. People have funny things around them. Can you see that if you just scroll around? Some people look like cosmonauts. Very cool. Okay, yeah. So, you know, like you can do a lot with your appearance. And I try to mimic my armchair. Yeah. So, you know, like the thing is, you're gonna be looking at yourself a lot as well. So mostly it's like for other people to be pleased with how you look, but also for yourself not to be distracted by it. Okay, should I go on with these things, or are these things you know? Can just somebody give me an impression? Yes, no? I have one thumbs up. I have, hold on. I have two notes. That's helpful. Okay.
Keep going with the helpful tips.
Okay, good. All right. I would hate to waste your time. Yeah, so if I'm ever wasting your time, just let me know. I have other things I can be telling you as well. So there is the chat option, and chat is really cool because you can chat if you open the chat. It's somewhere in the middle of your lower menu bar. So you can it opens and it closes if you click on it once or twice, and you can either chat to everybody. That's at the very top. And many of you have discovered it, or you can chat privately with people. Now, in a group that is our size, it's sometimes difficult to find from the drop-down menu, where is the person I want to chat to? So you can also go to the person's picture, and then you can click on the three dots in the upper right corner, and then you can chat to them. Like Gabriela, I'm sending you now a note. How about each of you sends now a private note to someone you don't know? Let's just, you know, let's test it if that works.
That's in the participants tab, right?
That's in the chat. It's just right from the participants.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Can you maybe explain it once again, because I can't find it?
Okay, so if you're in the lower menu, yeah, like the stripe that is here.
Yes.
There are options like the sound, the video, then there are participants, then there is screen share, and the next one is chat.
Yes.
So if you click on chat, on the right-hand side, on the bottom, a chat window is gonna open.
Yes.
Is it Stephanie who's talking?
Yes.
Okay, Stephanie.
I think I see it. Okay.
Yeah?
Yes, thank you.
So you can, and then if you go there, you can talk privately to people.
Yeah, I found it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Another helpful thing that we have is in the chat, you can see like the three dots, and if you click on them, you can save the chat, right? So if people were writing, very often you're in meetings and people are sharing like book recommendations, web pages, and things like that. Don't be frantic about it. Before you leave the meeting, save the chat. But with Zoom, once the meeting is over, the chat is gone. So it might be that the host will have them on their computer if this is their settings. Sometimes they don't. I don't, because I would have like gazillion of them. So my chats always disappear forever. So before you leave the meeting, save the chat if there are things that are important for you.
I'm gonna add to that, Caro. So I just got kicked out 15 minutes ago because of internet. So the chat is gone for me. I only see the piece that I see when I joined. So Caro, please save the notes for me.
That is true. I'm saving the notes for you, Mara. Okay, and chat saved, showing in Finder, done. Yeah. Also, like when you added something in the chat and people are joining later, they cannot see things that were discussed earlier. It's different with different apps. In this app, you can only see things from when you joined in. Okay. So, you know how it is. Like we don't have as much time as I thought we did, you know? So I'm just gonna slow down a little bit. So, one more thing I would like to join from this, share from this lower menu is something that's called roles. And I am the host of the meeting. Mara is a co-host. That means Mara can share her screen, but I said it that all of you can do that. And Mara can do various things, like could end the meeting for all of us, but it is only me who can send you to breakout spaces, right? So there are different, you know, like different functionalities that are related to various roles. And I will now, I have one more, okay, hold on. Jonas, get ready, I wanna share something with you. Jonas, I'm making you the host. That means Jonas can now close the meeting, and that means we all fly out. But we can rejoin the meeting later. So if Jonas kicks us out, you know, like see you here in a minute. Jonas, if you go to your lower menu bar, you can see something that's called polls.
Yes.
Yeah, could you start the poll? There is a question that I prepared for all of us.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you click on polls.
And start it?
Yeah, start it.
Here we go.
So. So you can, how I chose it is you can add one answer or multiple answers. And Jonas, at some point you will see a number of answers. Let's give it maybe 5 more seconds. And then you can close the poll and you can share the results with us. So with the poll, I'm giving all of you who haven't chosen your right answer yet some time. With the poll, the thing is you need to prepare it before the meeting. So once you set up the meeting, you go to the meeting settings in like the web-based version, and you enter your questions and the possibilities of answers. It can be both anonymous or with people adding their names. Jonas, could we see the results, please?
Sure. Do I have the option to join the polls?
No, you cannot vote. That sucks.
Okay.
I know, that sucks.
I was looking for that.
What would have been your answer?
What taste? So I'm ending the polls now?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see this now? Oh no, I have to share the results, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I share it now. Ah, okay. Do you see something?
Not yet. You closed it and now you have to press on share.
Ah, okay.
Yeah?
No, it says that the participants are currently seeing the results.
Okay, what I'm doing is, so Jonas hasn't kicked us out from the meeting. Jonas, I'm gonna reclaim host.
Okay.
Thank you
Take the
so
power.
much for
Take
that.
the power back.
Let me see if I can share the results. Can you see the results? That's interesting. So that's okay. So that's good to know. But you know, that's one of the, yes, there was a poll, Benedict says. Okay, so the most frequent answer is now, 12 out of 36. I'm taking a screenshot then of our poll as well to add it to our report. You know, like sometimes some things are just not gonna be working as they normally would, and then you have the results and you can share them with the group, but you cannot share them real time, and that's just the reality of it. Okay. One thing I would like to do now is there's been a lot of talking, so I would like us to do a tiny bit of upper body stretch. I'm gonna play some music. And I would like us all to start dancing to that music with our upper bodies. So, or, you know, dancing or moving or stretching or whatever you want to do. It's like really 30 seconds. Here I go, out to sea again. The sunshine fills my head. Dreams are in the air. Sky and my blue eyes. You know it feels. It's magic everywhere. Okay, thank you so much. So this is one of the things that is really easy, and it's often, you know, like it's doable to convince people to do that. And that's, you know, that is, yeah, that is just nice. You know, like, just a tiny thing about the subscriptions and Zoom plans. So Zoom basically has like 3 plans that are interesting for us. The 4th one, I believe, is not interesting. So there is the basic one that used to have a limit of 40 minutes in a conversation with more than 3 participants, but they just declared that they are removing this limit. So they are opening it up. That means that Mara, we cannot see your visual. You know, like, so that means that it will be without a limit. So that's one that is for free, and you can start an account, and that's great. Then there is the version that is the pro version, and it's like $14.99 a month. What this allows you is to have people call in through a phone as well. So that means if people are in the countryside or somewhere where they have no access to internet, they can call in just through a dial number. And this is up to 100 participants, and this one has this beautiful poll option. And then there is the business account, and this one allows you to have the meetings transcribed automatically. That means if you have like conferences or meetings where like high quality content is being shared, and you want that to be translated into an article, for example, then this is an account that will be interesting for you. All right, we have 13 more minutes, and I would like to send you once again to the same breakouts you were in, and to ask you to just check with yourselves. I'm just gonna give you, you know, like 4 minutes for that, just to collect, like, how does it all feel? What seems easy? What seems difficult? And what would you need to actually be able to hold a meeting? So I put the questions here in chat. I'm going to put them again when you go to the small breakouts. All right. Enjoy yourselves. So Sana, whenever it says that there's 60 seconds, you can still finish your conversation and then it will take you automatically to the main room. That's the cool part. So you don't have to join the big room immediately.
So you saying I could go back?
You could stay as long as the, you know, like as the announcement is on.
Okay.
So yeah, just for everybody, when it says 60 seconds to finish, you can still use these 60 seconds. It's often just, you know, like it's sometimes a good time to finish a sentence or say thank you to everybody else.
Yeah.
You were lost in space, by the way.
Sorry?
You were gone in space suddenly. You left our group.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was a mistake. I wanted to find this hands up button and I pressed somewhere and I was gone. That was not intended.
Yeah, we looked in the galaxy, but we couldn't find you back. So
yeah.
So if we could hear just a couple of voices from the things that would be important both for Mara and myself as we're preparing next session, or that might be important for everybody in this group, about the things that, you know, like are easy or the things that you still need and to be able to work with that actually.
Well, something about multiple screens, or if you can watch a visual, for instance,
right,
at the same time as the people talking or a
wonderful.
presentation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just from, can I? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Because there's.
Guy, is there something you wanted to share?
Yeah, sorry. Now, because on the multiple screens, I did, for example, when I look, everybody's looking into the camera. There's only Maria, but she's now completely out, and she probably works on 2 screens somehow. So I think also something to take care of is that indeed when you're working on one screen and the camera is there, it's not always easy to see if there is an engagement on video.
All right, wonderful. Any other takeaways? Clara, Caroline, your mics are open. Go ahead, Clara.
Yeah. Our group agreed that it's quite easy because it's all visible on the Zoom and it needs practice. But there are 2 questions, and it's also the multiple screen view, especially when you use some devices. I am using iPad, and it's quite difficult to take notes and also be connected with you. And there is a question from Monica, how to do the breakout sessions. But I think when you are hosting, it's quite, the Zoom will go through it. So
wonderful, thank you. Caroline?
Yeah, I think what I'm taking away is I'm actually doing a session tomorrow, and I'm going to incorporate polls as a way to sort of practice with engagement. And I think the takeaway for me is just playing and practicing a bit more, but I'm also interested, how can I incorporate, my iPad and sharing some more visuals like in real time while doing all this other stuff. So that's something I'm like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Hubert, do you have a question?
We question the takeaway is that preparation and practice is key.
Yeah.
You're doing it, and all the best for you and Mara for taking this big and great initiative. That's another learning point. Coordination is also key, so thank you for that.
Thank you so much, very kind of you. Okay, about multiple screens, we will talk next week because this is exactly the visual session, so it's great that these questions come up. I just wanted to add something and I forgot what that is now. Mara, do you want to talk about this, what's happening next week?
Yes, I want to talk about it. Sadly, the last times I wanted to share my screen, Zoom kicked me out, so I think my internet is not stable enough. So next week we will be talking about the basic stuff of adding visuals during the meeting, what is needed in terms of hardware and software, but also in link with the flow. What do you do before, during, and after? So that's actually it next week.
Wonderful. And then as promised, we have a homework for all of you, and the homework is, Caroline, exactly what you said. So we would like, before you come back to the next session, and it doesn't matter if the next session is like in 1 week or in 2 weeks, if you're only joining the facilitation, we would like you to have held at least 1 Zoom meeting. So like to register, set up a profile. It can be this for free. It's completely sufficient to just start playing with it. We want to ask you if it's okay that we share your emails with everybody in this group, because then you could team up, and you could ask one another, like, okay, do you want to Zoom with me? Do you want to test that? And then, so if there's anybody who doesn't want their email shared, please ping me privately in the chat and I will remove your email from there. And when you're in a Zoom with others, when you're testing it out and trying it out, also try sharing the hosting role, like that every one of you can try out how to send people into breakouts. And breakouts are also interesting because you have these options of like, how long does it take for people to come back? You can also assign people randomly to breakout spaces, or you can do it manually. You can also do it before the meeting. You can set up the breakout spaces if you want them like very curated. So this option is also there. So really do play around with that. There is one last option I would like to share with you for today that is a fun one. If you go to your video settings, you can, and you open your video settings, you have something that is called Touch Up My Appearance. And then your face becomes a little bit softer around the edges, you know, and it's just like, yeah. Mara, we cannot see your screen, so if you can switch it off so we can see one another with our softer faces.
Can you do it? I just got kicked out of my computer, so I'm on my phone right now.
Okay.
And I'm sharing something, but it's just hanging there. Sorry.
Yeah, well, you know, stop sharing. There we go. I'm trying. Yeah.
You're the boss.
It doesn't want to allow me. But if you look at your face, you know, like if you, yeah, there we go. If you click on the picture, you can look at your face and then you see how you look like. I personally don't like it, you know, how it looks like, because it looks strange, but for some people it's gonna be okay. It also depends on the tech on the computer you have. So what I would like to do for the end of the call is that we all open our mics and that we all say goodbye to each other in our native tongues or in the way how we want to say goodbye to one another.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, everybody.
Bye bye.
Werkt wel. Volgende keer.
Ik zie het zo.